friends. Mohawk River. The Mohawk River has, for too long, say 200 years, been too often an afterthought. When I was in 3rd grade, I learned to sing. I won't do that for you tonight. But I know exactly how many miles our friend Sal has to travel. And we all do, because the Erie Canal is written right through the New York State curriculum over and over and over again. Not the Mohawk, even though the two are intertwined and one and the same. The Hudson River has also overshadowed the Mohawk River, even though the Hudson is not the Hudson without the Mohawk. But the great storytellers and artists and issues and activism on the Hudson has been an overshadowing of the Mohawk for many years. But the Mohawk deserves its own recognition, its own attention, its own restoration, its own sense of purpose, and its own right to be. And there's nobody really who has done more to promote that idea and to make it a reality than our honoree, John Garver. John is a PhD geologist, recently retired from Union College in Schenectady. Very recently retired. If you look, squint a little, you can see the mortar boards floating down. He has, in that capacity, led his own research, conducted his own research into hydrology, sediment budgets, climate change's impact on the watershed. But more than that, he is convened with colleagues, but he has been a driving force in convening the Mohawk Watershed Symposium, where he has brought together a community of people who are studying and elevating and focusing on the Mohawk. And that propellant of highlighting that research, inviting people, getting them into the room together, creates more of it and has created a community of people focused on the protection, restoration, and focus on that river. And that's also allowed us to learn a lot more about John's research, because it's not just geology, but it's water quality, sewage pollution, PFAS pollution, road salt pollution, it's flood mitigations and ice chain flooding. It's beavers and the return of the ecosystem engineers to the watershed. All that has been featured, yay beavers. I didn't anticipate it as a clap line. But more than that, the Watershed Symposium, because of John's vision, has set the agenda. It has been a juggernaut in making the agenda for the Mohawk River. It has helped to establish the Mohawk Basin Program, get federal support and proposals through the Paul Tonko's efforts in the Congress. It has, at its root, the symposium has led to untold number of water quality improvement projects, habitat restoration projects, flood mitigation projects, all because of the strategic way that symposium has been put together to bring together decision makers and scientists, educators, artists, and all together in a very cohesive way. That's John's vision and work in place. The theory kind of goes with the paintings a little bit. So John is also on the Riverkeeper board and has been for several years now. He helps to keep, I work for Riverkeeper, has helped to keep our focus on the Mohawk River and our larger watershed. And because the marketing team's not here and the lawyers that watch our trademark are not here, I'll tell you, just between you and me, John Garver is the Mohawk Riverkeeper. No one knows more about the river. No one raises their voice for the river like John. And no one inspires other people to do that and raise their voice for the Mohawk River like John Garver. Consistent with that and exciting for tonight, the New York legislature could be voting right now, and if it doesn't vote right now, it'll probably vote by tomorrow, in support of the Mohawk River Basin Management Act. This will establish these Mohawk Basin programs, such as we have for the Hudson River Estuary Program. It will put into New York state law that should be a focus of the state's efforts, protecting, restoring, managing that watershed forevermore. But also light a little fire to deal with this issue of invasive species using the canal to come over from the Great Lakes into the Mohawk River and Hudson River, where they've caused countless disruptions to our ecosystem. A great feat, and again, has its roots with John Garver's work in the Mohawk River for these many years. So please help me welcome him to the stage. It's my great honor to thank him directly for this and to give him this WaveMaker Award.